So I'm yelling at the class here. I'm telling them if this isn't the first thing they did in their homework on page 20 for number 8, 9, 10, 11, then go back and redo those questions, because that's got to be your first step. Now, what I like to do is to then go ahead and we're going to do the limit as h approaches 0 of f of 2 plus h. So now I got to go find the function f of x. And I'm going to put in, instead of x's, I'm going to put in 2 plus h's. So everywhere there's an x, it's a 2 plus h. And for this one, it's an f of 2. So instead of an x now, I'm going to put in a 2. Now, I'm going to put brackets around it so I can see the first term being subtracted by the second term. Your algebra stinks. Teaching you calculus is going to be easy, but your algebra is going to let you down all the time. So pay attention to what I do with algebra. I'm going to put my brackets up. So this is going to be 2 squared plus 4 times 2 minus 1. And that whole thing, so it's this thing, subtract that thing, over top of h. And look at where my limit comes. It ends up being up in the top, and I hate that. Now, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, if you haven't noticed. So most of the time, if I'm doing it and anyone's going to look at it, I change it so that it's more in the center. That looks better. And in fact, look at that. Now we're talking. That's what's going on here. So the next step, and look at, it's an equal sign. The limit, because that's what this equals. Okay? So the limit as h approaches 0. Now I got to do some work here. I hope you know how to expand this. It's going to be 2 squared, which is 4. This times 2, which is 4h plus h squared, plus 8 plus 4h minus 1. And all of that has this subtracted from it. 2 squared, which is 4 times 2, which is 8, plus 8 minus 1. Do I need that extra bracket at the back? I don't. If you're a computer program, you know the dangers of having an extra bracket. All over top of h. So you will notice that I did this pretty darn fast. I hope you can too. And if you need practice on that, take a plus b squared and expand it. Getting another piece of paper. A plus b times a plus b is a plus b squared. That's a squared plus ab plus ab plus b squared equals a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. I will never ever show you this again. This is my last time showing it to you. So if I have 2 plus h squared, I'm going to follow that pattern. 4, a times b is 2h times 2 is 4h, and the last term squared, which is what I did right here. So saves a lot of time if you know what you're doing in there. Okay, so what's next? The limit as h approaches 0 of 8 plus 8h plus 2h squared plus 7 plus 4h minus, that's 16 minus 1, 15, all over top of h. Okay, I've got an 8 and a 7 and a 15. That's going to take care of each other, right? That's really good mathematical talk. 8 plus 7 is going to be positive 15. Subtract 15 is no more numbers. So I've got h squared, and h's. So I actually have 12h plus 2h squared over h. Plug in h approaches 0. I get 0 over 0. That's not good. So I'm going to do the limit as h approaches 0 of h. 12 plus 2h. Notice I could have taken out a 2 up here. I certainly could have taken out a 2. I'm not gonna. Okay, it would have looked like this. 2h equals 6 plus h over h. In which case we would reduce here, or I would reduce here. We're going to turn the limit on. Ring -di 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 -ding, ring -di 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 -ding. So the h is going to 0. The h is going to 0. Notice that those are arrows. It never equals 0. If you put a cross through it and say 0, I'm going to be all over you. I'm going to say it's not 0. It's approaching 0. So this, both of them, regardless, because 2 times 6 is going to be 12, which means that the slope of the tangent to this curve at this point is equal to 12. And if you don't believe me, Desmos it and take a look at it. And that's what you'll come up with. Isn't that awesome? Not so much. Andrew isn't impressed. Andrew's like, yeah, whatever. Okay. All right, Andrew. All right. All right. It's not Andrew, though. It's Anthony. It's Anthony. I'm picking on Andrew, and I'm talking to Anthony. Way to go. Okay. Whatever.